SA 330. Hey, hi everyone, this is C. Ravi Agrawal, and it's the time to enjoy SA 330, that is Auditor's Response to Assess Risk. Auditor's Response to Assess Risk. In SA 3115, we did identify and assess the risk of material misstatement through understanding entity and its environment. So in SA 315, what were we doing? We were just identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatement. And here in SA 330, we are responding to those assessed risks. We are responding to those assessed risks. The auditor's response to assessed risk. So what is the objective of auditor as per 332? Simple objective to obtain evidence for assessed risk of material misstatement, to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence for risk of material misstatement, and the second design and implement response to those risks. Now there's a requirement of SA 330. What are the requirement? Two simple requirement is that overall response to the risk of material misstatement at financial statement level, overall response to the risk of material misstatement at financial statement level, and the response to the risk of material misstatement at assertion level. Okay, now how do we respond to the risk of material misstatement at financial statement level? Nothing, is so simple. Here what auditor do is that auditor shall apply overall response to address the risk of material misstatement at financial statement level. It includes what does auditor do? They emphasis more on professional skepticism. They become more alert. Okay, so they emphasis more on professional skepticism. They assign more experienced staff. They do more supervision. They change their nature, timing, extent of audit procedure. They select further audit procedure. So this is how they reply to the response to the risk of material misstatement at financial statement level. How do they reply? More emphasis on professional skepticism, more experienced staff, more supervision, selection of further audit procedure, change in the nature, timing, extent of audit procedure. Okay. Next, audit procedure responsive to the assessed risk of material misstatement at assertion level. How do we do there? There are two procedure. One, test of control. Second, substantive procedure. Test of control is also called compliance procedure, and substantive procedure. Okay, so auditor is going to do only one, test of control or substantive procedure? No, they have to do both, test of control also and substantive procedure also. There is no odd option over here. Okay, so test of control is done to find out how effective is your internal control. So to find out how effective is the internal control, if the internal control is more effective, okay, if it is effective, then what do? Then you apply less substantive procedure. And if the internal control is weak, then what do? Then you apply more substantive procedure. So test of control, what do we have to do here? We have to find out the effectiveness of what? We have to find out the effectiveness of internal control. What is substantive procedure? The next one, substantive procedure used to check the financial statement. Here by applying the substantive procedure, we check the financial statement. Okay, we try to deduct the material misstatement at a certain level. We design to detect misstatement. We'll discuss later. Okay, so now the time is for test of control. Okay, understand the other name for this test of control is compliance procedure. It refers to audit procedure that are designed to prevent, detect, correct misstatement on timely basis. It is just I told you it's a audit procedure, so it's just designed to prevent, detect, correct material misstatement on timely basis. So the operating effectiveness of the control, evaluate whether the control are effective or not. I told you test of control, it speaks about whether your control is effective or not. Okay, so how effective is your control? You are going to apply your test of control. You're going to see that timing of test of control. You can do it for particular period. You can do it for throughout the period. Now using audit evidence obtained in previous audit. Okay, so you have to do that. Now auditor shall consider the following: effectiveness of control. You have to check your effectiveness of control. You have to check whether your control are automated or it's manual. Okay, so what else you are going to check? You are going to check your effectiveness of general IT control, your change in particular control due to change in circumstances. Okay, well, if the circumstances change, whether the control has changed or not, risk of material misstatement, and extent of reliance on control. Okay, now next what you are going to see, risk of material mismanagement, extent of reliance on control. And then lastly, this is a simple one: if based on the understanding of the entity and its environment, auditor plans to rely control, and that has not changed since they were last tested. Okay, the auditor should test operating effectiveness of such control at least once in every 3 audit. So what happened when you rely control? When you think control is all okay, I don't need to check the effectiveness of control. In that case, what you should do? You must check operating effectiveness of such control at least in every 3rd year. Okay, so in each internal control must be checked in every 3rd year. When do you do this? When you find that there is no significant risk, when you find that when auditor is relying on such control. Okay, but if not, very important, but if you think that control has significant risk, what do? Auditor shall test control over significant risk in the current period. No, in the current period itself. But when you think that there is no risk, then you can check it in every 3rd year of audit. Okay, so what are we studying? We are understanding the auditor's procedure response to assess risk of middle misstatement at assertion level. So there are two procedure: test of control, that is compliance, and substantive procedure. See, people find it difficult, but I'm explaining you in damn easy way. So just enjoy. Test of control is like compliance procedure. Here, why do you do it? We do it to understand the effectiveness of the control, right? The operating effectiveness of control, whether it's effective or not. If it is effective, we apply less substantive procedure. If it is not effective, we apply more substantive procedure. Now, auditors will consider effectiveness of the control. Control are manual or automated. Effectiveness of general IT control. Change in particular control due to change in circumstances. Risk of mismanagement, and extent of reliance on control. And then there are two simple points. If you find that control are having significant risk, you test control over the significant risk in the current period. But if you can rely on the control when you think that nothing has changed, so you do the test of control in every third audit. Okay, then there are two notes. Simple note: auditors shall communicate material weakness in the internal control. If you find that there is a material weakness in the internal control identified during audit on a timely basis, to whom should I communicate? Auditor. To communicate to management and TCWG at appropriate level of responsibility as per SA 265. So auditor shall communicate material weakness in the internal control. So if he is auditing and he found that there is some weakness in the internal control, okay, so he should communicate to management or TCWG as per SA 265. So next note is based on the test of control, auditor determines his substantive procedure. Of course, I told you now, if the test of control you find that internal control is effective, okay, then you apply less substantive procedure, and if you find that test of control is weak, then you apply more substantive procedure. Now, what is substantive procedure? It's just it's a procedure for the procedure to use to check your financial statement. Here, you just check your financial statement. See, it's written that it is an audit procedure designed to detect what material misstatement at a certain level. Basically, you're checking your financial statement only. Okay, so it's an audit procedure designed to do what? To detect material misstatement at a certain level. Okay, yeah. So here, what are you doing? You are applying this procedure just to find out, just to detect this material misstatement at a certain level. It comprises of two things: TOD. Okay, what is TOD? It's like vouching verification and all that. And then one is SAP, substantive analytical procedure. TOD, it comprises of two things: TOD, test of details, and next is SAP, substantive analytical procedure. Okay. Alright, so test of detail, that is vouching verification and all that. So here you do it in account balance also, that is the balance sheet, class of transaction, that is profit and loss account. Here also you vouch and verify and notes to account also. Okay, and then the next one is substantive analytical procedure, that is SAP. Yeah, note one thing: irrespective of the assessed risk of material misstatement, okay, no matter what is the assessed risk of material misstatement, auditor is mandatory, auditor shall determine and perform substantive procedure for ABCD. Okay, no matter what is the assessed risk of material misstatement, auditor shall design and perform substantive procedure for ABCD, right? And substantive procedure relevant to financial statement closing. Okay, substantive procedure is relevant to financial statement closing. That is, it is used basically, what do you understand by substantive analytical procedure? See, test of detail, I told you, is related to vouching, verification and all that. Substantive analytical procedure is like trend analysis, ratio analysis, right? Okay, then now substantive procedure relevant to this financial statement closing. Here you reconcile financial statement with record, examine journal entry and other adjustment. Now, significant risk, let's understand this. Where assessed risk of material misstatement is significant risk. When assessed risk of material misstatement is significant, okay, then auditor shall apply standard on auditing, especially responsive to those risks. Yeah, if you find that there is a more risk, like if you find risk related to going concern, then which SA you apply? You apply 570, right? So if you find assessed risk of material misstatement is a significant risk, then auditor shall apply standard on auditing, especially responsive to that risk. Timing of substantive procedure: when substantive procedure are performed for interim basis, auditor shall cover remaining period also. This is obvious. Okay, so what are we studying? Can you please explain me? Yeah, sure. So SA 330, auditor response to assessed risk. In 315 we learned identify and assess the risk of material misstatement through understanding entity and its environment, and there we identify and assess the risk, and in 330 we are responding to those assessed risks, identify and assess in 315. Now, two simple objective of auditor: obtain evidence for assessed risk and design and implement response. Now, two requirement, 330, how to respond to ROMM at financial statement level. and how to respond to ROMM at assertion level. At financial statement level, what we do, we give more emphasis on professional skepticism, more experienced staff, more supervision, changes in NT of audit procedure, and we select further audit procedure. And at assertion level, what we do, there are two procedure over here: compliance procedure and substantive procedure. Compliance procedure, why we do, we try to find out the effectiveness of the control, and if it is more effective, then we apply less substantive procedure, and if it is less effective, then we apply more substantive procedure. But we have to apply both the procedure, that is test of control as well as and substantive procedure. Okay, and then there was some discussion going on that if you if there is significant risk, then you have to apply test of control in current period. But if you rely on the control, if you think there is no significant risk, then what you do do test of control in every third audit. Okay, and you got to communicate the weakness in internal control to management TCWG as per SA 265. And if we've already discussed, like if the control is effective, then we apply less substantive procedure, and if the control is weak, then we apply more substantive procedure. Substantive procedure, very simple. Here we detect why this procedure is designed to detect material misstatement, not just misstatement at a certain level, but material misstatement at a certain level. Test of detail, there are two types of substantive procedure: TOD and SAP. Test of detail, that is vouching verification in account balance, class of transaction, and disclosure. And the substantive analytical procedure here this is like a ratio analysis type. So irrespective of the assessed risk or middle misstatement, you have to perform a substantive procedure for ABCD, and it is relevant to reconcile financial statement with record, examine journal entry. This is all that you do. And one point we discussed about significant risk, where assessed risk or middle misstatement is significant, then auditor shall apply standard of auditing, especially responsive to those risks. And timing, if you have when a substantive procedure performed for interim period, auditor shall perform for the remaining period also. Okay, evaluating the evidence, what do we do? So simple, auditor shall conclude whether the evidence has been obtained. Okay, first of all, you got to conclude whether evidence has been obtained. In forming an opinion, auditor shall consider all relevant evidence. Okay, if auditor has not obtained evidence as to a material financial assertion, then what happened? Auditor shall attempt to obtain further evidence. If auditor is unable to obtain evidence, the auditor shall express qualified opinion or disclaimer of opinion. So simple, you have to obtain the evidence, and if you are not able to if you have not obtained the evidence, so you do further audit evidence, you attempt to obtain further evidence, and if auditor is unable to obtain evidence, then auditor shall express qualified opinion or disclaimers. Presentation disclosure, so simple. What you do here, evaluate whether overall presentation of the financial statement is in accordance with FRF. Okay, so you just have to check, you just have to evaluate whether the overall presentation of the financial statement is in accordance with FRF. What is FRF? Law, AS, account, Ind AS, and all that. So you just have to check whether your presentation of financial statement is as per FRF. Then the last question here, as for SA 320, is nature, timing, extent of further audit procedure. Okay, change the question, there is some mistake. Nature, timing, and extent of further audit procedure. Okay, so what is the nature, timing? So there is always this word is very common, NT of the further audit procedure. So what is nature, what is timing, what is extent of further? We're going to understand right now. So the nature, see, nature of further audit procedure refers to their purpose. Nature refers to purpose. Say test of control. What is this? Test of control. Either we are going to apply this test of control or substantive procedure. So this refers to the purpose and their type. That is inspection, observation, inquiry, confirmation, recalculation, reperformance, analytical procedure. Okay. So the nature refers nature of the further audit procedure refers to their purpose. Okay, and their type. But time, when are we going to apply audit procedure? Timing refers to when audit procedures are performed. Okay, and extent refers to quantity of specific audit procedure to be performed. For example, sample size. Okay, quantity of specific audit procedure to be performed. Okay, so we are done with this SA 330. What is it? Auditor's response to the assessed risk. Auditor response to the assessed risk. What is the objective? Two simple objective: to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence and to design and implement risk. Requirement, two simple requirement: response to the risk of middle misstatement and financial statement level. How will you respond? By making more emphasis on professional skepticism, more experienced staff, more supervision, and selection of further audit procedure, and change to NTE of audit procedure, right? And how will you respond to ROMM at a certain level? Test of control, that is compliance. Here you will check whether the control is effective or not, and then your substantive procedure, right? Substantive procedure, what you do, there are two things: test of control, test of detail, and substantive analytical procedure. Okay, and then lastly, we discuss about nature, timing, extent of further audit procedure. Here, what we do, nature, timing, extent of further audit procedure. Here, you have to understand like what is the nature of audit procedure. It refers to their purpose, whether you have to do inspection or observation, inquiry, confirmation, recalculation, reperformance, and timing refers to when audit procedure are going to be performed, and extent like what should be the sample size or quantity of specific audit procedure to be performed. All right, so done with this essay. 3:30. See you in next essay. Bye bye.